thought was very interesting. We saw mention of the Veil and this artifact, which obviously, as we know, ties back to leaks that we'd seen ages ago that we won't get into. I can barely even remember them, to be honest. But it's weird because I seem to remember the leaks that came out involving the Veil were proven to be incorrect. I remember doing a video kind of breaking down, and I remember one of them was kind of like not that credible, and they were talking about the Veil and a bunch of stuff, but everything else in that post was completely like didn't end up happening, was completely false. But I remember kind of writing it off as it definitely isn't going to happen. But then now we see the Veil is a thing. It's very weird because obviously Bungie, they wouldn't have written it into the game after the fact, and so I imagine it would have been the plan this whole time. And obviously they're aware that this kind of stuff had leaked and come out in various different bits, and obviously they changed their mind a lot. But it's just interesting to see something that had been talked about such a long time ago did actually end up being a pivotal point. And I guess the Veil is it's an artifact on Neptune. Is the reason we're going to Neptune, is it?
It's something, someone, or somewhere. You know, that's or a group of things. You know, we really don't know what the Veil is, and I think that's the important thing to drive home, even if people have listened to leaks, because the reality is things change as game dev goes on, and even if the Veil has been, and I'll get onto other bits in a bit, but even if the Veil has been a thing for years, which I think it has, it tells you that all the people who were making those leaks, while they were incorrect, I feel as though they were getting it off the few people that had at very least been exposed to something similar to that and had this idea, which, needless to say, has changed and shifted over time. I think the fact that we return to this point of the Veil means that we are indeed looking at something which has existed in the background narrative for a long time and is ready to be revealed now. But I think that it's just very easy for someone to go and sit there and go on 4chan or some other trash site and be like, hey, I'm totally a Bungie dev, and this is what I'm going to tell you about the things that I totally shouldn't be breaking NDA over.
My uncle works at Bungie. He told me this.
Yeah. So my uncle John Bungie, who is very knowledgeable on all things to do with Bungie, told me about the Veil, which is totally actually just Callus's veil. I don't know. Callus's veil over his massive shower bath thing. I don't know. It's the shower curtain. That's all it really is. But yeah, no, it raises that point.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this has been around for a long time, clearly. Nothing has been accurate to that point.
Yeah, I just distinctly remember a lot of the things in some of those posts were just wildly incorrect. So we just kind of, I think most people threw out the Veil stuff with that and assumed that wouldn't be the case. But then we did kind of see, obviously, like the unveiling, and you see the big darkness veiled statue, and you see the word Veil kind of pop in. But yeah, who knows? But it is interesting to see just Bungie's development and how they change ideas and how they always keep you on your toes, that's for sure. And that's why you can never trust leaks, because some things that seem plausible end up being completely made up, and then some things that might be true, they'll change their mind and they'll just edit things and make them different to what was, might have been a thing 3 years ago. Development is always very rapidly changing, and Bungie changed their mind definitely very often, as they should. But yeah, it was interesting to see that come out, and the whole the witness seems to be what it's hunting on Neptune, which I'm also looking forward to. It's gonna be nice to be on a location that isn't as dark and gloomy as the Throne World. It's obviously Throne World is cool. We all love the Hive architecture, but it is nice just to be in a futuristic, clean, cyberpunk, Blade Runner, Neo, just shiny city that also, as a point they've made many times, isn't like this old abandoned place it was up until recently. Like, we're going to see the invasion happen as Callus's ship arrives. They're going to be like just evacuating and just like dealing with all the battle that's going on. So it's going to be interesting to see that